I just want to remind you that you're going to crush it today.
Yo, welcome back to the lab. I'm your host, Elias Benjaloon. Join me as we dive into the science behind the hustle of badass entrepreneurs working smarter, not just harder. In every experiment, we're going to dive in on business tactics and life lessons, enjoy some hip-hop, and experience a moment of gratitude. Thank you so much for being here. Now let's win this digital revolution together. As always, we're going to kick things off with some dope music, so I'll see you in there. Yo. Ain't nobody saw this coming. And if you think you saw this coming, you must be Psyche. And so hit me up so we can make this money. Cause ain't nobody see the fact that I'm gonna drop a track on Hustle Science with Daniel Doan on my podcast.
Wow, deputy.
Welcome to the show, Daniel Doan in pursuit of growth. 1, 2, 3, 4 figures, man. I want some more. His specialty growth, NCRO Pro, yo. From food stamps to social proof, looks like you moved past a Saturn view. Daniel, I'ma tell him all about you. His first biz is 17, got a psychology college degree at CSUP. Started from the bottom and getting dead. 2 million copies sold, got street cred. Indie apocalypse came for him, but he ain't dead. Far from it, yo. 2-time club winner, still crushing it. Keeping it fresh at DanielDoan.net. Now let's step in, dissect. Welcome to the lab, this the Hustle Science Experiment. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Hustle Science. And today I've got Daniel Doan. Hope you enjoyed that freestyle moment ago. Daniel comes to us from over 10 years of growth marketing experience, copywriting experience. I've been following his content for the last year, and it blows my mind. I have no idea where he finds all the time to put together these like massive content bombs. Like if you actually go through them, you can build your business from scratch with these things. So Daniel, thanks so much for being on the show. How about we kick things off with just a quick introduction on your end?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me here. So basically, I've been building businesses, growing companies, and straight up hustling for the past 10 plus years. It all started out with doing my own computer repair business back after high school, and then that kind of blew up locally. But then I went to college, pursued a degree in psychology, so I kind of gave it up. Plus, I was honestly not that great at like scaling a business, so it kind of fizzled out after a while. But I did generate a ton of leads using guerrilla tactics, digital marketing, local ads, growth hacking, and I honestly didn't even know that it was called marketing at the time. Honestly, I was just like, okay, well, how do I get customers? How do I get customers? So basically, I transitioned from doing that to studying psychology. Then I actually got into game development back in college when I was like, whoa, I wanted to chase this childhood dream of being like a game designer. So then I took a programming class in college, and then I was like, whoa, I can actually make my own video games. Then I started programming, and then I accidentally went viral on Reddit, where I just posted it, and it got traction. I was like, whoa, I can use Reddit to actually get traction to this video game that I was making. Holy crap. So then I kind of accidentally fell in love with digital marketing one more time. And I was like, okay, well, this hobby of mine, can potentially turn into a career, because I wasn't really planning on monetizing my video game or anything. It was $5 or something like that.
Okay.
But then after, getting so much traction, I actually ended up selling over 500,000 copies of the game eventually, and I was like, wow, I need to turn this into some kind of business where I can help other people, because I realized that there was a lot of people out there who were in my shoes, where it's hey, they were like a game developer and they had a vision, but they didn't know how to do the marketing. So then I co-founded a video game industry publishing and marketing studio called Black Media, and then we ended up shipping over 2.1 million copies of other people's games, which is pretty epic.
Hell yeah.
And then I kind of went from there into like consulting. So like I wanted to help business owners outside of the games industry as well, grow. So yeah, so it's been like a crazy ride. Me just kind of chasing my passions over and over and over again, and like as time passes and as my interests change and I'm growing older, so I'm not playing as many video games as I used to. But yeah, so it's just me, chasing psychology, chasing marketing, and chasing really helping people learn more, because honestly, like I learned from like reading so many articles, watching so many YouTube videos, listening to so many podcasts, and it's time for me to kind of also give back to the community as well.
Hell yeah, dude. So I mean, like, let's dive into that, because like 2 million video game copies sold, ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club winner. That's major. Like, you've got your growth marketing agency, and I saw your TEDx talk too, where you pretty much talked about how being in this career puts you in all these different places and puts you in all these different experiences to learn a bunch. From all these different experiences, I'm going to ask you the toughest question, but could you give me like, one major tactic, like one major tactic on the business side of things or the entrepreneurial side of things that you feel have really helped you see success and overcome some of the failures over the last few years?
Yeah. So I feel like the biggest lesson that I've learned throughout my 10 years of doing marketing is basically trying to understand your target audience slash buyer persona as much as possible. Because so many people would just like guess, or like so many people just make something and they don't really have that persona in mind, and actually just like accidentally, or sorry, so like when I first started making my computer repair business, or like when I first started making my video game, or when I first started, making my marketing agency, I kind of accidentally solved my own pain point, right? So I was like targeting people who were very similar to where I was a couple years ago, and back then I didn't even know that I was doing that consciously. I was just like, okay, well, I hope, like hopefully this picks up, somehow. But I've come to realize that I was accidentally targeting a very, very specific demographic, someone who thought like me, liked what I liked, and like really had that same culture, like similar cultures. So yeah, so understanding demographics and really digging deep, super deep into like the psychographics and like the psychology of who that person is absolutely crucial for any business, any marketing campaign.
So I 100% agree. And you know what? Like, it brings me back to those workshops where people are working on their customer persona, and everybody's like trying to think about this for the first time, but they could have been in business for 10 plus years and they haven't even drilled down on who their customer persona is like. What are some of the key elements, like top elements that you would look at inside of that a lot of people would point out, oh, well, you got to know their gender and their age and all these other things, but psychographics goes way deeper than that. What are some of those things that you look at?
Yeah, so I found that it's helpful to really talk to them, really interview them, and really get to know them as a person, right? So it's not just, hey, like you're male, ages 25 to like 35, and like you live in San Francisco. It's like okay, because you live in San Francisco, what do you do there, and why do you do the things that you do there, and what does that bring you? What are you chasing? What is what are your goals and aspirations? Who do you or like what kind of podcasts do you listen to? Do you even listen to podcasts? And why do you listen to like podcasts? What are you trying to get? So it's just like, so like you can go as deep as possible, and like you like should go as deep as possible, right? Because like when you're running ads, when you're doing copy, when you're targeting, when you're connecting with people, like if you can speak to their deeper layers, that's when you're gonna talk directly to them. because they will know that you did your homework, and they will know that they can genuinely benefit, right? So like they're not just like a generic 25 to like 35-year-old male, like they're like like this very, very specific person with like very, very specific needs and pains. And the more specific you go, the better their response.
Hell yeah, and I see you pointing fun at it too, probably because it matches your target customer. And I'm gonna take a stab at it, but you tell me if I'm going in the right direction. Like I see you crushing it with your organic content and your content marketing, and it really sounds like you're speaking super specifically, bro, to a target audience of bros that maybe not necessarily bros, but you know what I'm talking about. Aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring consultants. You point things out that are so specific to the community that like it's almost like an inside joke. If somebody else saw that, they're not really going to get it. And is that kind of like is that the goal? Like, is that what you set out to do? And how would you tell people to do that, like for their business? Like, say they weren't targeting aspiring entrepreneurs, they're targeting a different. Not to say that that's where your target audience is, but like, would you follow that same formula for another business and another customer set?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all about using the insider lingo, using inside references, really talking like them, right? and like I honestly have it pretty easy because like I'm part of the marketing community. I'm also like a small business owner. I'm like a serial entrepreneur. So it's just like I can already talk that kind of talk. Yeah. But it's much more harder when you're trying to sell to someone that you don't really know. So like that's where like deep customer surveys come in. That's where phone interviews. That's where you like actually like invite people to like hang out with you and actually get to know them, right? And so like that's yeah. So like that's much harder, but typically yeah. So the more you know, the more you can grow.
Dude, I love that. And I think that's major value. I think it's like and you kind of get a shortcut if your target customer is your authentic self, that you just get to be your authentic self, speak that language to other people who are like you, and build a business that way. And but some people don't have it that easy, so they would have to go do those events, go meet their customers and interact with them. I want to take a moment now and do a quick moment of gratitude, because too many people are unhappy. Too many people are looking outside to validate themselves when they should really just be grateful that they're fucking human in the first place. That they're not in a war-torn country. We've got so many different things to be grateful for. It can be anything, the food in your belly, whatever it is. What's one thing that you're grateful for right now, today?
I'm really grateful that I, like, don't have to eat expired food from the dollar store anymore. Because I remember, when I was struggling, like I was like, dang, like is it ramen or is it expired, frozen food from the dollar store? And like, it's like pretty rough.
I can't believe they're allowed to sell it, but we all know they do, and we all know people eat it. So, yeah, man. I guess since we're talking about food, I'm grateful for all the food my dad's been cooking me lately. I'm Moroccan originally, so get tons of Moroccan food, which I absolutely love. And I think that's a really good segue to our next thing, which is our section on life lessons. And I want to ask you for your life lesson, but before that, I want to ask you a really direct question, if you don't mind. Like, being like an Asian son, like you've had expectations to go to medical school or to go to law school or engineering, whatever it was. Like, did you end up majoring in any of those? Were you pre-med at some point? Did you pivot away? And what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so I declared my major as biochem.
Okay.
And I took half a semester of biochem, and I was like, F this. Like there's no way. Like I was like, I don't like biochem, this was like just purely to like please my parents, and I was just like, this is not me. Like like I would, like, even if I was like a doctor, or like a pharmacist, or like a dentist, like I would just feel like I was living someone else's life. So I changed my major to psychology, and I remember telling my mom, and like she like literally started breaking down like in tears. She's like, Daniel, like how did like how can you do this to me, and like honestly, like it was really hard, and I just remember just being really sad because I disappointed her, and like she being really sad, and I was just like, dang, like like because I think that she like raised me with the expectation of me becoming like a doctor, or like a pharmacist, or like like an engineer, like, and but I'm I guess I'm like a business person slash marketing guy now. So but I feel like after my success, things have been better.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. It kind of goes down to that thing like entrepreneurship. A lot of times a super lonely road, especially if you have those kind of expectations in place first. So yeah, man, thanks so much for sharing that. I brought it up because I was also pre-med. I was bio major, but I didn't change my major. I actually went all the way through. And then it was when I graduated that I really decide, what, long-term medical school isn't what I want to do. I really want to dive in and go through all of the struggles of entrepreneurship, and but I'm super happy for that decision, and obviously wouldn't go back and change that. So I know kind of prefaced that a whole ton. What would be a key life lesson you want to impart with this audience? It could be stacking on top of what we just talked about. It could be a different topic, different story altogether.
So I feel like kind of tacking onto our conversation earlier, where it's like, if you chase your passions, I feel like you will try harder, right? And by trying harder, you'll have a much better chance of actually quote unquote making it, versus if you don't. So like people say that, oh well just chase your passions, right? But it's like but it's not really about just chasing your passions. It's about trying to chase something that you actually enjoy doing, that's also practical, that that because you're passionate about it, you're gonna try much harder than everyone else, you're gonna do better than everyone else, and you will just outplay everyone, right?
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's what led me down this path of copywriting, marketing, business, because like it feels like a game to me, right? Like I've always been passionate about psychology, and I'm like, well, like I can actually use my psychology degree, my childhood interest in psychology, and actually like impact people's lives, help people, make businesses like a ton of money. Like this is like just me helping like so many people with something that I'm generally passionate about, and that's why like I can write all these guides, like social media. That's me just being who I think that I want to be, and that's really cool.
Hell yeah, I love that. There's probably some people listening, though, that haven't really discovered what their passion is. What was the moment that you figured out, oh shoot, like I really enjoy marketing, and what part of marketing really gets you fired up? So like, let's go back to that
I
moment.
feel like
Go for it.
I feel like the moment kind of clicked when I realized that I liked designing video games. I liked just like persuading people in general, and I liked to grow businesses, and just add value that way. So I was like, wait a second, like there's a lot of psychology involved in all these, and I'm like, okay, well, what if what if that like core thing was just psychology? then I, kind of thought about it for a while. I'm like, yeah, like that's definitely just psychology. Like that's why I majored in psychology back in college, because I'm like, hey, well, so like back in college, like I didn't plan on making like a lot of money with it or anything. I was just like, I really like psychology, and that's what I'm gonna learn. And
Awesome.
yeah,
So your mom freaked out.
so I was, yeah. Because like she was like, "Oh my god, like, do you know how much people with like a bachelor's in psychology makes?" And like she like Googled it, and like the average income was like 20 something thousand dollars a year or something like that. And I was like, well, it's like, well, I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it depends on how you apply the psychology, right? Like, because there are people crushing it and making millions upon millions because they've cracked their customer profiles and the right messaging to get them excited and convert. So, and like, did you find like, when did you connect the dots that like your college degree in psychology was going to fuel your entrepreneurship? Like, did that happen in college, or did that happen, way after?
I think that happened. I think that happened sometime after college, where my company Black Shell Media was like growing pretty fast. We were onboarding maybe like four clients a month. We like partnered up with like over 85 other game development studios, and I was like, whoa,
Nice.
like, like I really enjoy doing business, doing marketing, and doing copywriting,
Hell yeah.
and also helping game developers with game design.
Okay. All right. Dude, that's incredible. Daniel, is there any last notes you want to leave with the audience? Feel free to plug something if you have something to plug or whatever. You take the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a growth marketing consultant / copywriter. If you want more marketing tips, golden nuggets, you can check out my website, www.danieldoan.net. I have like a big blog with like, I think it's like over 40 articles, copywriting, marketing, growth, lots of free stuff. And if you want to send me an email, it's Daniel at danieldoan.net.
Hell yeah. Awesome. And I'll make sure to include all that in the blog post with this. Sweet. Daniel, thanks so much for joining me today on Hustle Science.
Yeah. Super glad to be here. This is an awesome talk.
Hell yeah.